Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking CCIV and Lucid Motors. Automatically, when these two get brought up, everyone assumes that the merger is happening via a SPAC deal. Now, I'm here to tell you this is not confirmed and this is not really true. No one knows for sure if this is getting done, and I'm here to give you the information why you should be speculative on this trade. I'm seeing a lot of people go all in on this trade, assuming that this deal is going to happen. Now, there's a high probability, I would say upper 70% chance that this is going to happen, and that's just me spitballing, but there is a major possibility on this stock that this won't happen. But before we get into that content, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Tyler Wilson and I trade stocks every single day, and I'm making videos on the hottest stocks and the stocks that I am personally trading. And if you have a request for a stock video, just comment down below and maybe I'll make a video regarding it tomorrow. I try to keep my videos very short, to the point, and give you stock analysis as well via the chart. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. First, we're going to talk about the potential positive of this merger. If Churchill Capital CCIV merges with Lucid Motors, this will be really big overall. And if you're in the stock at around $17 where it's at right now, there's a lot of upside for you. The stock would initially get a push of about $1 billion in cash flow, giving it an evaluation about 25 to 30 million, pushing the stock price roughly to $25 to $30. That's almost double of what it's at right now. That's pretty big gain. So I see the value. I see why everyone's very bullish on it. Honestly, I love Lucid Motors. I love what they're doing. If you watched my previous video, I go over why I love them so much. So I recommend going and checking that out. They already have launch days set for their new product here in quarter number 1. So I'm looking very bullish on their company overall. But one thing to really take into account from all of this is that Lucid Motors is getting tons and tons of free publicity via the SPAC deal. But one thing to really take into account from all of this is that Lucid Motors is getting tons and tons of free publicity via the SPAC deal. One more thing to take into account is CCIV is making it very clear to their investors, which they never really do. But their CEO came out with a letter saying, "We do not generally comment on rumors and speculation and will not comment as to whether the company is or is not pursuing specific business opportunity, other than saying, as noted, we are evaluating a number of potential business combinations." So they continue to deny that they're looking for the potential merger of Lucid Motors. Now, I understand from a financial viewpoint why they have to do this and why they can't have really insider trading or leak this information, so I totally understand it. But it's worth noting, CCIV continues to deny this. He goes as far to say, "We have seen unusual trading in its shares in the recent sessions, seeing a massive 50% increase." Now, could their CEO be saying this, just to keep it under wraps, to be buying more stocks for insider trading? Is that a possibility? Yes. Is he doing this to cover himself and to really make sure there's no leaks? That's 100% a possibility. But this is very strange, especially in the SPAC community. Out of all the SPACs I've looked, I've never seen a CEO be this noted on denying a potential merger, especially with a company like Lucid. If anything, he could just stay quiet. Also, it's very important that he's sending this to his actual investors as well, really reassuring them. It's kind of crazy because we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off, but we're seeing a lot of people hold. Now, I'm not really bearish on CCIV, so don't get me there. Please don't attack me. I'm not that bearish on CCIV. I'm personally on the side that we're looking bullish and that the merger is going to happen. There's a higher probability chance that we're going to get a merger. But if you're long-term and you're very heavy into this play, you need to come to the conclusion that we might not merge. The point of this video is not to really run down CCIV, not to run down Lucid Motors. I'm very bullish on both of them. I think the merger is going to happen, and I really love Lucid Motors. It's really just to give you a warning if you're a long-term investor. I'm not saying take profits. I'm just saying you need to come to the conclusion that it's a possibility they don't merge, because everyone is saying that it is a done deal, and it is not a done deal. Nothing has been written. Nothing has been completed. There is no handshake deal. There is no even press release regarding this company at all. They have worked together in some part of the way. There's a lot of hints that they're going to be merging. Like I said, high possibility they do merge. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's looking like somewhat of a gamble. But let's look at the chart, because I do believe there is some positives and there is a few negatives. So we need to point out a few things on this chart overall from the last video. So this was the actual trend that we were watching. As you see, we broke below it, tested it, kind of broke back down, and kind of just consolidating sideways. You see, we're really holding this position right here, this like 17.3 up to like 18.5. We can bring that down a little bit. So that's the area that we're sitting in and holding. This isn't actually bad. This is kind of promising. The only thing that has me a little bit worried, and this is only if you're day trading the stock, is that it's sitting below that weekly level. That's going to be a hard level typically to push back above. But like I said, the stock doesn't look that bad. The fact that we're consolidating sideways like this leads me to believe that we're actually going to get another initial push up. So that is promising. And if we do get some really bullish news about the merger or any type of deal like that, I suspect a really massive move to the upside. Like I said, a $25 to $30 push is definitely in the books if we get that merger news. You know, there has to be a bearish case, and there has to be a case for me to look for potential entries. Right now, this is not an entry level for me. If you watched the last video, what I wanted to see was a push up to this level and kind of holding, which we didn't get. So what I am looking for personally is to get a touch up to this weekly level and then possibly get a rejection and then press back down to this 15 to 15.30 range. Now, I'm not bearish on the stock. This is honestly wishful and hopeful thinking. I'm being optimistic here. I really would love to get entries around this level. And I think there's a lot less risk if you can get in around that $15 level. Now, if you're in on the long term around $12 to $13, you're looking pretty good. Of course, I'm looking here, I'm looking for some call options as well. You know, I'm an options trader. I do have longer term investments, but CCIV isn't something I'm really looking to hold in the long term. I think there's a lot of potential upside in the short term. So something like options can make you a lot of money here. That might be a little degenerate of me. Another thing to look at is the OBV. As you see the red line, I've had this march here since the last video. We haven't even got a test of it. We are trending up on the OBV, which does look positive, but we want to see more of a press up. We're not really getting that momentum. It doesn't look great to me. And with the VWAP, we're sitting above it, which on the short term looks well, but if we get a push back underneath it, it has me a little bit bearish as well. But it's very important to know, as I say bearish, I'm not long-term bearish on this stock. I really want you to listen to what I'm saying. Bearish is a very short-term type of thing here. If we get no news and continue to do what we're doing, I do believe we get a 15-15.30 push down below. That'd be a very great spot for entries, a huge support. I'd see us bouncing easily back up to the $18 range from there, and then maybe pressing forward with some positive news. Now, positive news is going to be the thing that saves this stock. I don't see us just trending sideways at the 17.5 range for much longer. It'd be kind of crazy if we did and be very bullish if we did. So that's another thing to take into account. If we continue to just move sideways and consolidate completely sideways, there's no doubt in my mind that we get another push up, similar like we did with IPOE. The only difference with IPOE is that they actually announced the merger with SoFi, so that's way more bullish than this is. If they announce a merger with Lucid Motors, it's going to be a massive run up almost instantly. In review, what I'm looking for is a push down to $15, $15.30. That'd be the most optimal level for entries for me, and that would be a really great position for risk to reward. I think reward would highly outweigh the risk there, being potential to completely double the actual stock price. And if you're in options, that can make you quite a bit of money. This is just my opinion and viewpoint on the stock and what I'm looking for. On the long-term side of things, I think the deal will go through. And this is really just a warning for the long-term people sitting in the stock that there is a possibility that it doesn't go through. I'm not a bear on this stock. This channel is all about just giving you my information and giving you my opinion on these stocks overall. I'm going to be posting a lot of updates coming on CCIV and Lucid Motors, just so you guys know. So expect those to keep coming out. Have a good one, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Namaste.